A little pre-rant I have to get out before you watch this. This is my third time uploading this. I spent almost 30 hours trying to upload this. The first time, I put way too much editing in for the whole hour to put relevant stuff on the screen that we were talking about. All that got copyrighted, so I took that off and made a still frame, and I did a little explanation in the beginning of the video to explain what happened, and the music I used in the background of that got copyrighted. So here's the third time I'm spending another, like, 3 or so hours doing this. This isn't gonna pay off. It's killing me. So hopefully third time's a charm and this works. Please. I spent way too much time on this and I need to work on other things, but I have to get this out first. So please, work this time. You're making me go insane, YouTube. You're killing me. God.
So how are you two handsome bastards?
I'm good. I was erect, and then you opened your mouth.
Turn off your webcam.
Why?
Why? Okay. The better question is, why not? Because what do you gain from having your webcam on? He just said he's not going to show.
I'm showing this part.
Oh.
2015. We've seen a lot of things happen this year.
Fuck off! I don't like your intro already.
Go ahead, restart. I'll shut up this time.
Okay. 2015.
Fuck off!
I'm sorry. Go, start over.
Don't start it like that.
So many things happened this year. Some for the better, some for the worst. Most likely worse. We've suffered through many hardships this year, some on a daily basis.
I got genital warts.
Chase's genital warts might play a huge factor into this, but out of all the tragedies that happened this year, all of these, tonight, we will not cover that. Hey, we're gonna talk about fun stuff. We're gonna talk about video games. Talking about Japanese cartoons.
Are you implying that like my genital warts has like a butterfly effect?
I mean, more or less.
Okay. I'm really
Are
sorry.
you implying that Chase's genital warts aren't fun?
Maybe they're a little unsightly.
One more year, Zach. Come on. Welcome to this podcast that doesn't have a name because I was thinking of calling it Jabcast, but that was a terrible idea. So this we're just gonna talk about things that we like this year, like everyone else does. So
Yeah, Jabcast sounds like you tried to like make some like Japcast,
like a
like
Japanese
to talk about
podcast, or
yeah. But
I mean,
then you said it wrong.
I mean that will be a third of this podcast, but whatever. So
Jab, you said this is about things we like, but I remember reading in your plan that there was like a worst section.
well, we like talking about things we don't like.
People come for the shit talking.
Yeah, so that's why I put it at the best for last, baby. We're gonna get nasty. We're gonna get controversial. Everyone, just make sure your parents aren't in the room. Turn the volume up to 101.
I'm gonna just be polite. I don't know what you're fucking setting this up to be. I'm just gonna disagree.
So, on that note, we have two of our co-hosts today. Our one co-host who ironically talks about his ass more than his face, ChaseFace.
Who are you?
I don't know, you signed this contract.
Shit.
You're in this forever.
I'm ChaseFace. I do videos.
And if you know him, you probably don't want to hear him this entire time, so. Our next co-host!
Wait, what was that?
Our next co-host
Are you implying
is-
that like I'm gonna be the unwelcome one and everyone's gonna be bored? You're not entirely wrong.
Our next co-host is still yet to upload anything within the past 5 months. We have Error28.
My brain doesn't work fast enough for me to come up with a quip.
Is that why you have like one pair of glasses? Because your brain like makes one of your eyes just like lack the ability to see. So you just melted a pair of glasses in half because it really wasn't worth it.
You see,
No,
Zach,
I did it because
there-
it was fun.
There are times, Zach, when you know, it's good to have a well-placed quip that you've like, you know, you think of it really quickly on your feet and then you say it and you're like, that was good. I'm glad I said it. Jab did the opposite of that just now. He just like pulled something right out of his ass and learn from his mistakes. Don't do that. Okay.
Okay.
Just, you know.
It's like feature tips for when you're trying to start a channel that actually has a good start and not a bad one, like all the my past 5 channels. You can take a page from these two fuckers' books.
Don't be
Hey
so
man,
hard.
that they
I'm
did not read.
uploading in 2 days.
Yeah, and make sure you watch that one because there's a 100% chance that'll be 10 times better than this. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the thing that most people I talk to care about is video games. We're going to start positive and then we're going to get to the nasty stuff. We're going to get to the controversial stuff. Now, we're going to start really obligatory. Your favorite games of 2015. I'm going to let you guys start.
Even though it's completely incredibly predictable, I thought about it and I can't come up with a better title. Undertale.
If you're gonna talk about Undertale, I'm gonna leave. for just like a minute.
Are you surprised?
I still haven't played it.
Zach, before this podcast, I said, look, there's a huge chance that me and Chase will talk about
And
Undertale for like 30
I
minutes.
will be back.
Fucking hurry up and play the goddamn game.
I know.
You have the game.
Look, man.
Most people don't finish it because they just don't have it.
Like, you see, Zach is the perfect example of someone that refuses to play a game because people around him are talking about it. It's kind of human nature. It's kind of human nature to talk about things you like, but fuck us, right?
Look, there have just been more things that I want to play, like, more urgently. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but you gotta just play the 4-hour fucking game, get it over with, so that way we
And
don't
play another 4 hours to get the other ending.
I mean,
you don't have to. I don't even think Chase did it.
But I did get pacifist ending, but he's talking about neutral then pacifist.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't done.
I mean, that's still 8 hours.
Undying the Undying is way too difficult.
I don't know, I didn't really play a whole lot this year. I played Rocket League a lot.
I enjoyed Adobe Premiere CC. That's the game I've been playing a lot of.
Well, Zach, considering after what happened in the Game Awards, your Game of the Year is more socially acceptable than ours, so you're free to talk about it.
Yeah, technically yours is represented by majority vote.
Really? Wait,
No,
I didn't even watch.
Bullshit.
I didn't even watch the Game Awards.
Rocket League won over Undertale.
It was like best indie game of the year. It was Undertale, Rocket League, Her Story, and I think Life is Strange. I'm not.
Still haven't
Don't quote me
fucking-
on that.
I've just seen Her Story. I haven't played it yet.
I bought Her Story, but I haven't played it yet either.
Yeah, I know it's like really cool technology, but
Okay, so Zach votes Rocket League, and for me, it's gonna be no surprise either since I made like 4 videos on it. Undertale as well. Undertale.
sorry, you got excited. You said the magic words, and I got happy.
You knew this like months ago.
Shut up! I'm trying to be a fucking faggot.
By the way, Rocket League isn't my game of the year.
Then what
But
is
I
your
just
game
liked
of the
it a
year?
lot. I can't tell you that.
Did you enjoy Rocket League more than any other game this year?
No,
Then what's the game you enjoyed more than any other game this year?
it's a secret.
It's Danganronpa, isn't it? Wait, did a Danganronpa
yeah.
game came out this year?
Yeah, one came out this year.
Zach, you must not realize my audience. They fucking spent hundreds of dollars to import dating sims from Japan to America.
It's not a dating sim though.
Also,
I'm just saying it's worse than Danganronpa.
Also, I just want to establish to any of your fans who are listening. By the way, probably no one's gonna listen to this except for the cool people. But if any of you are watching this, expecting Jab to do more YouTube poops, get the fuck out. Just fucking grow up and go away. Because I'll say it, Jab's too nice, but I'll just say you guys need to fucking. You guys need to go out and get like a real 9-to-5 job. Be a real man. Grow some fucking hair on your chest. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what were you talking about?
You heard it here first, folks. Blast up your ass.
I will fight you.
The man with the plan.
Come at me for all your best Sonic analysis videos. That's what I do.
He's the dude who's really rude. He's the dude with an attitude.
Did you come up with that on the top of your head?
No, that's fucking Gamer Dude's theme song.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, he's like, he is the game dude. He is so rude. He is a gamer with a bad attitude. I don't know.
Is it like ironic?
No, he was serious.
Oh, fuck.
He's
Okay.
he was like back when it was cool to rip off ABJN back in like 2009.
I'm sorry, I just had a mild aneurysm. What were we talking about?
Well, we just finished going from Undertale to Gamer Dude or whatever, Game Dude. I don't fucking know his name anymore. Well, Zach is providing lackluster commentary, so I guess me and Chase are gonna have to do this. So, Undertale is
Okay.
our game of the year. What was your favorite part about Undertale, my man?
Oh, should I leave?
I don't.
If you fucking want to, it'll probably
I mean-
be a better podcast than just us. This little fucking teenage contrarian over here. You haven't played Undertale because you'd rather spend 4 hours on a game that came out 2 years ago. You know, I didn't play it then.
It didn't come out 2 years ago.
The demo did.
It did.
Yeah.
Was his game Danganronpa? I wasn't listening.
It was.
Come on, Zach, talk about it. You can do it.
It's so objectively, it is probably not a very good game, but the fact that I have a giant hard-on for that series kind of means that I have to like it, and to be honest, it's really everything that I'd want in a spin-off title, because it's sort of like it bridges the gap between the first game and the second game, and instead of being a visual novel, it's a third-person shooter, but I've enjoyed my time with it.
Okay, so as far as Undertale goes, I'm mostly going to talk about it in my top 10 video, but a runner-up game that I have is probably a game that like 5 people played. Project Mirai DX. Now, I normally don't put Project Diva games in my games of the year because Honestly, as fun as it can be extremely stressful. So while Project Mirai came out, it was a really dumbed down system from what I'm usually used to. But I really think that every franchise that's like hard as balls needs something that you can just relax with. And I kind of felt like Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy vibes whenever I played it. And I really appreciate how you can just slow down with it and just enjoy the songs more than just freaking out in order to get more than the fucking 60% on each song. So if you're a Project Diva fan and you were skeptical on Project Mirai for looking like really dumbed down, you're not wrong. But I still recommend picking it up because it's kind of like therapy after you just been pulling your hair out for hours on end playing Project Diva F or F2nd.
You'd fucking know about therapy, wouldn't you, Jeb?
Yeah. I don't know what else to say to that.
Just like, you know what? I'm not sure if you're trying to be funny, but yes.
But yeah, you're not wrong.
You insensitive piece of shit.
I should go back to therapy. Just a thought. Note to self: get help.
And
Didn't you go to college for like therapism?
Yes, I'm sure that's how.
Is that a word?
No! I did go to college for fucking psychology, but that doesn't mean I would be a therapist. It just means that I would be able to apply the art of psychology to things. But that's not why we're here.
And I don't think therapists can therapism themselves.
No, you can face your own demons, but it's scary. You need help. You need a player too, if you know what I mean.
Do you guys have any like runner-up games or whatever?
Rocket League, because Rocket League was just really fun to play with other people. Did Tabletop Simulator come out this year or last year? Tabletop Simulator's really solid.
I think it was last year, but I think a lot of people didn't start playing it until this year, so I guess you can technically count that.
I guess my runner-up would have to be MGS5, even though it's really not done.
It's just because I'm a big Metal Gear fan. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but that's the first one that stands out to me. I think Until Dawn is really good, if not just because of the graphics and the way that it handles horror. But certainly wasn't Resident Evil Revelations 2, that's for sure.
Would you like consider that one of the worst games that came out this year?
No, not at all. It's fun in some ways. It's just, as a Resident Evil game, it's like a fucking atrocity. You know what I would consider one of the worst games of this year?
Life is Strange.
Oh, see, that's what I was talking about with the controversy here. All right, come on, hit me.
Adam up in here.
Hit me
Where's
with
Adam?
your best shot, person that doesn't even have it in their fucking Steam library. Come on. And we once again prove Chase's professionalism while he's playing an iPhone game during this podcast.
Suck my dick.
Is that to me or the viewers?
That's to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure your viewers are a lot cooler than you.
Hi, Adam. Talk about Life is Strange.
Right now?
Yeah.
And our third co-host, the guy whose avatar looks like 3 times his age, Adamnator.
That's me. So this is the podcast right now?
Yeah.
This is the Life is Strange podcast.
This is the Life is Strange cast 2015.
No, it's fucking not.
Okay, but before you came here, Adam, Chase was so ready to praise that game that he said, you know what, I need a third person in here to describe how wonderful this game is. Let's get Adamnator in here.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Hey man.
That is verbatim. It's on tape.
Chase, that means a lot to me. Yeah, I don't think you really know how much that means, but Life is Strange is very nice.
I wish I could go back in time to the Holocaust and put myself in Hitler's place and just have all you guys in the showers. So how I feel.
That'd be pretty good.
Is there a specific reason why out of all the torture methods you wanted us in the shower?
It's just
Does the shower have hot water? Because mine doesn't.
It's just the edgiest that I can think of off the top of my head.
Is World War II still topical?
Is it?
When you're trying to offend people on the internet, it's absolutely topical.
All right, World War II cast, everyone. Let's talk about it. So World War II took place in the 40s, right? 1940s.
Probably.
Life is Strange took place in World War II.
I think that a lot of people really give Auschwitz too much credit when they say it was like the most extreme concentration camp. I think there's a lot more valuable ones than just that.
How would you know?
I'm a smart person.
And so you see, folks, ChaseFace's true colors have been revealed.
ChaseFaceShow.com, 2015, kill all the Jews trademark.
Life is Strange is a telltale game about a woman known as Max just regained powers for reasons not even she knows, and she thinks that she can prevent her friend's death by going back in time, and then just because of that she goes into other problems. Adam, what do you have to say about it?
You can watch my video on the first episode at Adamnator.com, redirects to youtube.com/c/Adamnator.
Does it really?
Make his words a hyperlink.
It does.
Applicable.
Life is Strange was actually made by Don't Nod Entertainment, I believe. And they made Remember Me, which I didn't remember.
Not very memorable.
Ironically unrememberable.
But then they made Life is Strange. When did that come out? Well, I made the video 9 months ago, so
I think January 2015. That was when the first episode came out.
It's been almost a year, and a lot of people, like, you really kind of get engaged in its story. It's one of those games like The Walking Dead, you know? It's one of those ones, and it's nice. It's not. It definitely has its flaws. They're very visual. Well, not visual. They're very. Yeah. I mean,
their lips are terrible, like the lip syncing.
The more you play, the less you notice it, and it does get better. It gets much better, starting at the beginning of the second episode. The first one is god awful, but
yeah, and I think that's what made I think that's why Don't Nod shot themselves in the foot for, because they put it all episodically. So when people play the first episode, they automatically judge it because the second episode isn't coming out for like another 3 months.
Exactly. Well, actually, the second episode
wasn't very good.
The second episode came out only like a couple months or like a month and a half after, but then there were like much bigger like spaces in between, because they wanted to do it like every month or like every 2 or 3 weeks or something. I don't remember what the spaces were, but they ended up being a lot more than what they estimated.
I just don't like that there are lesbians in that game. I want to live in a world without, mutants, mental mutants. I want to live in a world where everyone is heterosexual.
Chase, you realize that people are going to listen to this, right? And like years from now, people can like come back and get this and be like, ChaseFaceShow said this about somebody.
People are listening to this?
Greetings, Drama Alert Nation. I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right
into my ass. I was just going to keep going with that and just be like, I don't think that the lesbians should be represented in my games. I want them all dead.
Anyways, least favorite games or your most hated games of this year?
I played like 20 minutes of Nekopara Volume 1, except I don't think that came out this year.
No, it did. I think it came out January 2015.
It was pretty whatever.
I can summarize everything that you've said so far, Zach, by just saying, Japan, 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 Japan.
In
Nekopara's
defense,
I'm weeaboo trash, but
in Nekopara's defense, if you play a lot of visual novels, most likely all the characters you see are in still frames. Nekopara is 100% animated, and even though the story is kind of generic and shit, I cannot stop looking at it. It's beautiful, and I like breast jiggle in there.
I keep hearing about it, and that's it.
I haven't. It's installed, but I just haven't given it a go.
I haven't played anything this year that I was like, yeah, that was awful. I mean, even like, I played the Order 1886, and it was just super mediocre. Like, I didn't hate it.
I played like a few hours of the Battlefront beta. It was, it was alright. But it was probably the least, because like I haven't played much this year. But it just felt kind of generic. Like it felt like a shooter with Star Wars. Like I didn't feel. Sometimes I did. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I'm a fucking stormtrooper. I'm shooting at stormtroopers. But other times it was just like, I don't know. Probably because there weren't like
Battlefront you were saying
or something. Yeah.
I had a feeling. I looked at Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront, and I was like, that looks kind of fun. But I feel like everyone's gonna stop talking about it in a month.
Yeah, and they kind of have. I feel like I haven't really seen many people talking about it still. I don't know.
It has died down, but like I'll see once in every blue moon, like, oh, Battlefront sucks because it's not finished, and like they're right. But...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't it get a bunch of shit for like having a fuck ton of DLC or something?
Yeah, it's most of the content related to the game is DLC. There's more DLC than like more maps were released pretty soon than is in the game.
That's stupid.
Yep.
But they're allowed to get away with it because we fucking keep buying the DLC.
That's true. The same thing happened to Splatoon, man. Like, after a few months, everyone stopped talking about it. I really liked that game.
No, the moment that everyone started talking about Splatoon, I was like, this is Nintendo. Nintendo, they did something. They did something to ensure that everyone would be talking about their games. Like, they fucking made sure that every YouTuber was doing a video on Splatoon. They kept releasing content about it and making it, like, I feel like they did something with memes. I don't know. Like I know just a lot of memes came from it, but
I think the Squid Kid commercial was like made with like in hopes that it would be a meme, and they succeeded. the whole
Yeah.
Squid Kid thing.
But it's just like I knew from the get-go that it was a trend and that it wasn't gonna be a thing for long. Because it's as a game, it's fun, but it's like it's not that sophisticated. It's just like a quick and play.
And they didn't put
Game
voice
shooter.
chat in it, which was dumb.
Yeah, which is like one thing that I do not know why Nintendo won't do. It's like, oh, it's because kids play. It's like, you just have their parents disable it. End of story. But yes, Splatoon was
we need companies to parent our kids for us because I'm watching fucking I was gonna say Total Drama Island, but I meant
that's like a show for 10-year-olds.
Best
What are
show.
parents?
I was gonna say like what is it? Fucking Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I don't fucking watch those shows.
A terrible game for me. There's one that I have a lot to say about. I own over 200 games on Steam, and I've only 100% 2 of them. One of them is this game I'm about to talk about. Cinderella Escape. This game is made by some unknown person in Japan. Yeah, this is made by some unknown person in Japan. His developer website is a Wix website, and it's really just about like they kind of grasp the Cinderella story, but they try to like turn it into like this edgy adult thing, where it's like, oh, Cinderella actually killed the people that she lived with. It's not a spoiler. It happens within the first 5 seconds, and now like the prince is like pissed off at his dad for not taking him seriously. He kills her, blames it on Cinderella, gets arrested, and now some godmother that's for some reason is 2-dimensional while every other character in this game is 3-dimensional goes, here, I'll give you powers. The blue slippers help you jump. The red slippers help you break shit. Now solve all these puzzles to get out of the prison cell. The controls are so floaty and awkward that I was so frustrated when I played it. You go upside down, you can zoom out of the map as much as you want to the point where like the map looks like a little dot, and there's so many like levels that they're so big, it's like, oh, you have to go through a lot to like go through this level, when really you can just jump twice and boom, you're at the end. So it's just so like misleading and everything, and it's done so poorly. I'm gonna do a video on it, but if you ever see something called Cinderella Escape with an R18 rating, don't get thirsty and think that you're going to get into some like Cinderella Roll 34 shit. It is the most pathetic attempt at revamping a story that no one even cares about anymore. Who cares about Cinderella anymore?
I think Evolve was pretty unanimously a shit show.
Did that even come out this
The
year?
Order 18... What?
Did that even come out this year?
Yeah.
I thought that was late last year.
No, I think it was early this year.
I'm looking at a list, so if I'm saying
Oh, okay.
that they're accurate.
Okay.
The Order 1886 was just kind of embarrassing from the way they handled everything.
Uh,
Guitar Hero Live looks pretty bad, and I heard it was pretty bad. Obviously,
I heard it was good.
Fuck you. I heard your. Oh, also Axiom Verge and Hotline Miami 2 are tight. Those. That's back in the category.
What is Axiom? Oh, that's that like Metroid kind of looking thing.
Yeah, it's like that Metroid thing with like glitches and all this other stuff.
Dude, yeah, that looks. I've been so tempted to get that. It looks really cool.
Axiom Verge is
The
like
Witcher 3. I don't give a shit. There's better open world games out there. Fight me.
Jesse will. We should get Jesse. Where's Jesse?
Axiom Verge is like, it's kind of like the Shovel Knight of this year from everything I've heard.
It's nowhere near that level of fame, but it is a
I'd
good
say
game.
If anything, I'd say Undertale is the Shovel Knight of this year.
Well,
Yeah,
when you like
definitely.
talk
Yeah,
about like
it's-
2D platformers, like,
Undertale fucking destroyed Shovel Knight.
yeah, in my opinion, like this is gonna be a little bit controversial myself. I didn't really like Shovel Knight. It was okay.
I didn't like Shovel Knight.
It
What?
It was fine.
It's a good
I
game.
really enjoyed it.
It's
No,
a good
I-
game. From the graphics to the humor to the way that the game feels. Every fuck up that you make is entirely your fault, and you know it because the game doesn't.
I feel like Shovel Knight is objectively a good game. I'm not a huge fan of platformers
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
it's objectively a good game. It looks.
I just
good,
think
the
you're not a
humor's
good. I just think you're not a big fan of like things that are good, Zach.
I feel like we've already established this, though.
I think-
you know?
I
Yeah.
know, but I just have to really just drive that point home for the listeners. Can we kick him now? Can we just get him the fuck out of here? I don't. Seeing his name disgusts me now after hearing that sentence.
Okay, so next topic: games that you regret buying the most. Not necessarily games you think are
Oh.
bad, but you think you could have bought either next year or just not bought at all and just rented.
Sonic
Okay.
OS.
Yeah, I can list off a bunch of these. Let's see. Nekopara.
In English, Zach.
Catpara? I don't know.
Cat pussy.
Oh, okay.
Is that actually what it translates?
No, I know what Neko means, but I don't know what Potter means. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was called cat pussy.
Just like all this shit, like I bought like so many like Resident Evils that I'm like never gonna get to, and like I bought like what else? I have so much in here. Like I bought like just the Deponia games for like $1 each off some website. It's like I don't know. They're like point and click games that like
you know what I forgot about. You know what I forgot about that I need to include because this list is never gonna end ever. Fucking Resident Evil 1 remaster.
Really?
Yeah.
What was
that game will always be classic.
Oh, like playing it in like the regular version.
Yeah. I mean, like it's the like the remaster one that they originally made on like Wii and GameCube back in the day.
Oh, okay.
They just made it HD on Steam and PS4 and PS3 and all that stuff. It's like, it's still such a good fucking game. And if you really want to challenge yourself, there's all the difficulties and costumes you can unlock. It's just so cool. I love Resident Evil 1. It's amazing. But anyway.
One game that I regret buying the most this year. This is something that not a lot of people are going to agree with me with, but Super Mario Maker. I honestly think this is the worst purchase I did this year. Not because the game is bad. This is one of the rare cases where it's not the developer's fault, it's the player's fault. Because, like, sure, Nintendo's cool. Like, they give you, like, the ability to create all these levels and everything. But for the first 2 months the game was out, the only levels that you see trending are stupid fucking levels. Like, don't touch a button, or don't move a muscle, don't do all that, da-da-da-da-da.
Don't shoot the puppy.
Yeah, don't shoot the puppy Nintendo version. Get that on the Wii U eShop. They accept anything anyways. And that's and like so the community in my opinion fucked that game up like before it even had like a high standpoint. And the only reason why people are considering Mario Maker as one of the games of the year this year is because they played the levels Nintendo already made you, which isn't the point of the game. And that's my opinion.
I don't blame you, man. I mean,
fuck Nintendo.
Like, I feel like it's one of the games that, like, if I would have bought, I would have played it for like a couple hours a day for like maybe a week, and then would have forgot about it.
Right.
I played it like once or twice, and I was like, this is cool, except all the games have like this weird forced physics on it because they needed to make sure that all the games in a certain style could fit on games in another style, so they changed the very physics of the game. So like the very first, I might be mistaken, but like the very first Mario had that kind of floaty, sort of slidey physics that the new Mario games have, because then if you were to switch it, they wouldn't want it to play completely differently, because they have changed the physics over the years, you know?
Yeah, that's really weird. I did wonder about that. That's so weird.
It's just something I felt. Like, I can't prove it, but...
Okay. Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say Xenoblade Jab, by the way.
Well, Xenoblade, yeah, I'll talk about that real quick. Xenoblade, I don't want to form an opinion on yet, because I haven't really played that much of it, but I will say, if you're, like, wanting to get into the RPG genre, please, for the love of God, do not start with Xenoblade X. It's one of the weirdest battle systems I've ever played. I'm not going to disregard it because of that. I need to learn it, but it's not like new player friendly.
I'm just at that point of like I'm an adult that just doesn't ever do anything involving games unless it's like very easy to play quickly. It's fun, but it's definitely one of those games where I think I was enjoying it more because I thought about how I was going to be able to play with friends, and then all my friends stopped playing the moment that I got it.
Is there any games that you missed this year that you guys hope to play sometime in the future, but you just couldn't get around to doing it?
Well, I mean, because pretty much all of the games that I missed this year that I wanted to play, I got for my birthday and Christmas. So, I haven't gotten very far into Xenoblade X. I still need to play Corpse Party. And there are a bunch of just miscellaneous ones like Dengeki Bunko. And what was the other one that I got for PS3? Well, I guess it's not this year, but Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters I got too.
Yeah, and I'll put Xenoblade X into that category since I did just buy it as soon as my semester ended. But yeah, like I haven't had enough time to like sit down and play it for like hours on end. I have to like dedicate a night to it and just completely focus on that 100%. So that time will come, hopefully next year. I wouldn't say this year because there's like 1 day left.
Until Dawn, because I know nothing about it, and everyone says like you should play it, but know nothing about it. But
you should watch it. You should watch it and not buy it because
I agree.
From what I've seen, it's extremely linear. Even when you get the best ending. The only difference is like there's like a secret little cutscene at the end of like a significant character, and like their ultimate fate at the end. But it's like, it's a really pretty game, but it's just, even though the frame rate seems like it kind of runs like piss, but it looks fun. It just doesn't look like a game that I would have enjoyed if I paid $60 for it.
That's how much it costs?
I completely agree.
I'm pretty sure
it originally cost $60, but I don't know if it costs that much anymore.
Oh, okay.
It looks fucking beautiful.
I haven't seen like anything from it, and like, but yeah, I just keep seeing like people who I'd want to like watch playing it, or like videos that like, oh, well, I can't watch that because it's fucking about Until Dawn or something, you know?
It's kind of one of those things, like there's a whole system in that game where everyone has like attributes. You have like humor, intelligence, charisma, all this stuff. And there's all these stats, and like they raise and lower depending on what you do, but they don't do anything. Like, it's just there. It's one of those games that, kind of like the Walking Dead games, and really any Telltale game for the most part, where
so will remember that.
They give you they make you think that, oh yeah, everything you do, it has like repercussions and everything changes depending on what you do, but like it's not. Especially considering the game prides itself on like a butterfly effect narrative. It's just not,
okay.
It's barely interactive. It's a cool game, but it's just, after seeing like two different people play through it and get slightly different endings, I'm just like, all right, that's probably one of those games you'll never ever play again.
That's actually really good to hear, because I was wondering about that today. So
yeah,
thanks, Chase.
No problem. It doesn't look like a good use of money. But for me, I think the game that I really want to check out, but I just never really got the opportunity, was Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
I hear that's been getting a lot of really good reviews. Like, Game Informer gave it their fucking Game of the Month, whatever the fuck that, whatever that's worth to you.
Yeah, but if it doesn't sell like 5 million copies or whatever, fucking Square Enix won't care.
I mean, it's on a few. I watched Mojo's top 10 of it, and I think it was like number 4 or 5, somewhere around that. Don't quote me on that.
It's supposed to be really good. I don't know anything about it. That's the other cool part. Actually, I was listening to the Kind of Funny cast, and they were talking about how, like, in this game, Laura is just, like, fucking brutal, whereas in the previous game it was supposed to be, like, an origin story where she learned how to survive and just brutally murder people because she had to, and now she's just used to it, so it kind of sets the stage for the future games.
Right.
But I don't know, I just hear a lot of good things about it left and right, and I just wrote it off the moment I heard about it, and the more I'm hearing about it, I'm just like, I should probably give it a try. It looks promising.
I feel like that's one of those games that really slipped under the radar, because I just haven't heard like anything.
Well, because
I didn't even know that came out.
Honestly, the franchise was popular back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, but it's like at this day and age, not many people care about Tomb Raider anymore. So when this game first came out, almost no one talked about it, and then all of a sudden it's like getting praised now, which I'm happy for. I am a fan of Tomb Raider. I just didn't. My expectations are pretty low for this. But I'm glad it's actually better than I expected it to be, so maybe that'll be the first game I get when I get a next-gen system. Which brings another reason. Or, yeah, on Steam. Which leads to another thing. The other two games I want to play soon, and I know for a fact I can because my brother-in-law owns them, The Witcher 3 and Fallout 4. I liked New Vegas, haven't played 4 yet because that came out during my finals, and I will not get distracted during my finals. Witcher 3, I liked Witcher 2, so that's all I have to say about it.
What's the next topic, Jab? Play us off.
Alright, now here's the part that Zach was waiting for probably this whole entire podcast. We're going to be talking about cartoons, but here's the kicker. Something that might surprise you. These cartoons are not from North America, and Chase gave out, I was doing this whole little bit, and Chase just gave out the hint right there. We're talking about Chinese cartoons, everyone. Cartoons that are not from North America.
I ruin everything I touch.
Everything I touch dies.
I can't talk about Steven Universe then.
Fucking get the fuck out already with that bullshit.
It's actually
Steven
pretty
Universe.
good. You can go fuck off.
We'll add a Tumblr section in here. So
everyone has ruined that show for me because I saw the first episode and I was like, oh, listen to that. It's like a chiptune soundtrack. This is really cute. And then the more I just heard about it, I was like, just please stop, Marcy, please.
It's a very cute show, but it's also a very interesting show. There's a lot of shit that like will go straight over kids' heads that you'll be like, holy fuck about. Like there's a lot of like stuff that kids will like get. Like there's a lot of like I don't want to obviously like spoil anything, but there's a lot of characters that like
a lot.
fucking
Okay,
watch.
okay, alright, fuck you. There's a lot of characters that have a lot of depth that not everyone will really realize if it's just surface level. Like, if you're just watching it, like if I was, like, 8 years younger watching this, I wouldn't catch everything about, like, they really did a great job of making it enjoyable for anyone, and that's what everyone says that, you know, but, like, about that show specifically, but it's very much true. So if you've been thinking about giving it a watch, I highly recommend it, and if you're just looking for something, it's right up your alley if you like cute shit, and also sometimes a very dark shit.
See, the main thing I have a problem with is just like everyone who's like our age is just like, I'm an adult with a lot of responsibilities and I'm still a child at heart, so I'm just still gonna fucking watch cartoons. But it's like, then you get these cartoons that try to appeal to everyone, and it just feels so forced. Like, I remember I saw the pilot for Adventure Time back when it was just like, they're like, oh, it's totally math, rhombus, my hat is awesome, like all the funny little jokes they had in there.
Yeah.
And then as time went by, it just became like this really like, there was like all this forced edgy depth to it. They made it like overwhelmingly geared towards adults.
Yeah, like
And-
my sister's a huge fan of Adventure Time, and like when we first started watching the seasons together in like 2010, I think that was the year it came out. We disregarded it because it was, like you said, just like silly shit. But then like once it started to become like post-apocalyptic and everything, my sister was like so deep into it, she like kept track with all the episodes, and she's like, Torn, you gotta watch this, and I'm like, okay.
Like
I'll watch
it is
one day.
it is like interesting for sure, but there's something to me about just that label of being like, really hardcore into the fan base of like these cartoons that are geared towards adults. It's just like, I don't know, it makes me cringe a little bit. There's something about that aspect of like cartoons for adults that just seems kind of
No, I
like,
feel
I don't
you.
know. Like, I should just go ahead and get my diapers while I'm at it and just
Wait.
fucking sit around and not move because I can't grow up and I fucking still need people to
Yeah.
clean up my shit for me. It just seems
Okay.
strangely
I
like
get what you're
regressive.
saying now. That's a really interesting point to make. Like, I did
It's
actually
like,
think
I'm
about that
sorry to cut you
myself.
off, but it's like you get so many people who are just like, I'm so fun and carefree and happy and hyperactive and I love cute fun things because I'm a child at heart. But then it's like, it's these same. I'm having a hard time organizing it, so I just look like an angry old man who just can't explain himself.
No, dude, I
It's like-
completely agree.
It's
You're not.
just like this really obnoxious persona where it's just like, look at me, I'm so fucking punk that I love all these things that are supposed to be for kids, but I'm an adult because I'm such a free spirit and I don't care. I like things that are for little kids because I'm so open-minded. But then like in reality, a lot of these people are just fucking autistic and they're just like rude and irritating. I don't know. Just the experiences I've had with the people that like these cartoons, they just soured it for me. Because like I know for a fact the cartoons are solid. Like they're not bad shows, but it's just
Yeah.
the people who like them are the most fucking abrasive.
What are you trying to say, Chase?
See,
You
hear it
you
from
could just say it
Chase.
to
Get out
my
of my life.
You
face.
hear it from Chase raw.
Um,
His claws ain't staying in his paws.
I do agree. I work with one of the people, Jason, for the longest time. Jason Roof wanted me to watch it,
Yeah,
and
that'd be
I
cool.
finally did after a long time. The meme one, yeah. But then the second person who more recently said I should watch it again, and she was my coworker, and she's very much that, like she.
Oh my god, my little
It's
pony.
just everything you described. Not even that. She, I don't know. It's like there's nothing more I
Doctor
can say
Who.
about it.
I'm sorry.
That exactly. Yeah, exactly. I can't say anything more about it because you've
I'm
already
such a
described.
geek. I love the
person.
Avengers.
Well, when it comes to Steven Universe, like the reason, like I actually gave it a chance, and I don't want to say, oh, I don't want to watch it because it's so overhyped, because that make me a hypocrite, because I get mad at people that don't want to play Undertale because
Then
it's
you
overhyped.
just be a Zach.
But what I don't like about it is like it's no doubt the My Little Pony of 2015. And it's not that the show is bad, it's like the fan base like sees that as like their new icon, to the point where the people that actually make the shows look at their fan base and just shake their heads and just be like, what have we done?
Well, yeah, because like Chase said, that is what like happens. You get these people who just like use it as a way to vicariously like not just to like not grow up kind of a thing.
And one of my biggest pet peeves is like when My Little Pony came out in 2011, it was this innocent girly show that I guess everyone liked just because it was taboo and they were like, I'm watching this show and I'm not supposed to. But then once Lauren Foss like found out that grown men were watching their show, season 2 onwards seemed like it was more focused towards bronies. And I think Steven Universe had that mindset starting from the first episode, which really kills the innocence. Yeah, and that kills the innocence of shows these days. Like that, like I don't care what Chase says about man children. I still like to watch cartoons from time to time because it does feel like you're innocent again.
Yeah,
and
I just want them to not be self-aware because it's like with memes. Like if you make a meme with the intent of making it viral, fuck off. Like people will see that and it'll lose its charm immediately.
All right, now time to talk about what we were originally supposed to talk about like 30 minutes ago. Anime. This is something that Zach can probably cover the most because he probably watched more anime than any of us.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go on break starting now. Go ahead, Zach.
All right. I watched a show called Haikyuu, and technically the entire first season came out last year, but the second season came out this year, so I'm gonna talk about it anyway. It's like I've never watched a sports anime before, and volleyball is like the shittiest sport ever. I never thought I would just care so much about volleyball. Like, it's just so good. That's really all I have to say.
Why is it good?
Why is it good? Why am I dark side, Zach?
Dark side, Phil. Did fucking explain yourself?
It's kind of a point of a podcast, Zach.
Oh, I get it. Okay. I need to think.
This whole for everyone watching, 2 hours prior to this podcast, me and Zach were in the call, and he was so pumped. He was like, I'm going to talk about anime. I watched so much anime this entire summer. I'm going to nail this. I'm going to knock this out of the park. And now Zach is just like, I watched an anime about volleyball.
Hey, look, you told me
it was
you were
very
going to
good.
cut this up.
I liked the art style.
You told me you were going to cut this up. At least I'm not sitting here like. Well, yeah,
but if that's the only thing you have to say about the anime, I'm going to have to keep that in because...
Nah, like, because the anime is less based around the sport and more based around how the characters develop and get better at it. And it's just... It almost feels like a normal action show just under this guise of volleyball. And I think that really works for keeping it almost in like a slice of life feel.
Right.
But it still makes it, action-oriented. Which I feel like if you watch a lot of other sports anime, I mean, I haven't really seen any other ones, but if it focuses more on the sports, which I have no interest in, then I probably wouldn't have as good a time with it.
Okay, and unlike Zach, I actually made a list, and I was prepared for this.
I have a list of 3.
Then what's your other 2?
Oh, my other one, Plastic Memories, because I know Adam loved that one too.
All right, you guys take the floor.
Baby.
Take the floor.
All right.
That is the only. I just want to say one thing. It's the only show that has ever made me cry. So
it's not the only show that has not made me cry because I am a big baby, but I highly enjoyed it. It's one of the only shows. Did I give it? Let me check my anime list because I believe I give it a very high rating.
You gave it a 10, Adam, and I remember giving you shit for giving it a 10, and I gave it a 10 too. So sorry about that.
I did give it a 10. while I've given like Akira and Code Geass a 10 on here too.
Behind the eyes of a 17-year-old.
What is this? Sento shit. I gave something else a 10, but I'm trying to figure out what it is. Oh, it's Spirited Away. Never mind. But Plastic Memories, right? There's just I don't remember anything from it. Zach,
the first episode,
you handle this.
Like even the first episode, because there's this part where essentially it's these people who go around and they collect these androids because after so many years they essentially go into disrepair and they only have a certain amount of time before they basically go insane. And
they have to go to the family and be like, yo, your robot kids, time's up. Baby, they gotta go.
And then in the first episode, like, they have to take this, like, robot boy away from this very old, like, nice couple, and it's just, like, even that, it's just, like, it just fills you with this, like, wonderful sadness.
Alright, so for me, I have a list, but there's going to be one that I want to save because I know Chase is going to want to talk about this, so I'm going to go through
But I
the
have
other
one
ones.
more.
Okay. This is my podcast, but, you know, Zach isn't really known yet, so he's trying to, like, take the floor here. So go on, Zach. Do tell.
The one that, like, there were a lot of people that got kind of put off by, like, the whole foodgasm thing, but Shokugeki no Soma was really, really good. It's similar to Haikyuu in that it keeps that sort of slice of life feel while still feeling very... It gives off almost this, like, fantasy action feeling just because of how over the top they go with all of the actions that the characters make. And the characters aren't as well developed as they are in something like Haikyuu, but it's still fun to watch.
Okay, third time's a charm, and hopefully I'll get my show back. Alright, there's 5 shows I want to talk about, but I'm going to save one, like I said, so I'm going to go through 4 of them. God Eater. I enjoy God Eater, but don't listen to me because my taste is terrible. Wakakuzake, I already did a video on this. It's really just an anime that you can finish in 20 minutes. You know, if you just want to relax. This show is about literally nothing except a woman in her mid-20s going to restaurants after work and trying out different foods, and then she pretty much gives you a review. It's pretty much food reviews to see on YouTube, but it's not gross. It's not gross.
I heard God Eater was not good.
It was not good. That's why I said don't listen to me because my taste is
Wait,
bad.
you said God Eater?
God Eater,
God Eater. It's the one made by
like based off the PSP game?
Yeah, there's an anime that came out this year, and it's not good, but I still enjoyed it because I'm a huge fan of the God Eater series, and I think it's just because, like, not many installments come out to the point where any adaptation at all, no matter what it is, if it has the word God Eater on it, I will enjoy it regardless. So that's why I say don't listen to me, because my taste is wrong. And
it was, like, despite the fact that a lot of people didn't like the art style, too, I thought it looked really wonderful. Well, but that's, like, the only thing I liked about it.
Yeah, a lot of people hate about it is that it was, like, 90% of it was CGI. Which I don't understand why people don't like that, but... Anyways,
Well, I mean just, like, the shading and stuff that they did, like, everything looked like it was, pastel.
Can I have my show back?
No.
No, you're talking about anime. He's being a spurg lord right now.
Grisaya no Rakyuin. This is the sequel to La Fruit de la Grisaya. A lot of my friends tell me that even though the first season was decent, it ironically didn't pay much attention to the protagonist, and it focused more on the girls that he was trying to, like, guide them to the right light. So if you want to learn more about the protagonist, I do recommend Season 2 of Grisaya no Rakyuin because it's completely about how he got to his position today. It's pretty much like a whole, like, biography. So if you want to learn more about the protagonist, I recommend Season 2. And last...
Would you say it is a prequel?
Yeah, it's pretty much a prequel to Season 1. And Knights of Sidonia Season 2. Knights of Sidonia is a Netflix exclusive anime. Even though the frame rate of the show looks like you're playing Crysis on a shitty laptop, I still like what it's about, and Season 2 is pretty much the same thing, so if you like Knights of Sidonia 1, check it out. Knights of Sidonia 2. And my
dad liked that show.
Oh, he did? You have a cool father.
Yeah.
And this one I was saving for Chase to come back because I know he wants to talk about it. Ori Monogatari.
My dad liked Sword Art Online too.
Ori Monogatari, Chase. Go.
I did a review on it. It's really cute. It's still slice of life, so it's fucking predictable and kind of boring.
I think...
Takeo Golda is the single most likable fucking protagonist in a romantic anime that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, like, it kind of makes you feel bad because, like, he's like the most self-deprecating person you'll ever see in an anime, and he's like happy that he self-deprecates himself, which is, you just feel bad for him. But, like, the reason why I like it because a lot of slice of life animes like Nisekoi and whatnot, they are so, like, it's just, the whole show is just about two lovers giving off hints that they love each other. When in Ori Monogatari, yeah, it's inconclusive, and in Ori Monogatari, right off the bat, I love you too, and then let's do that. And I understand some people will say, well, it's kind of disgusting just watching them smother each other to death the entire season. I agree with that, but I just think I really wanted to see an anime where the relationship actually fucking happens, and it wasn't until the last episode where it almost happened, and then the tsundere person interrupts, and all of a sudden a huge fight happens, and then boom, credits.
See, it's just like, on one hand, it's like kind of what everyone wants, but at the same time, it kind of makes the rest of the show uninteresting, because, like, there's nothing else to build up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to see this. If you want more explanation on what the show is about, just go watch Chase's video. It was pretty spot on. And it wasn't like Digibro who just said, "Get a room, guys."
Basically, the season 2 of this started this year, I guess. But and I haven't seen it, but I started watching the first one, and I highly enjoyed it. Free. All right, that is all.
Okay.
I think I just like shirtless guys. I don't know what's up.
Now it's time to get respected by the anime community and talk shit about shows that they didn't like this year. So
I can do that.
okay, go.
So there's this show called Aoharu X Kikanju, or Machine Gun or whatever, and it was just
Worked really hard on that pronunciation.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they didn't even like bother to finish the show. I think they got to episode 11 and they were like, "Yeah, we'll finish it later." And it's just, it takes 11 episodes to do nothing. Because it's about this girl who meets this guy, and they're like, "Play on our survival games team," which is basically Airsoft. And but they don't know she's a girl, so there's all this drama affiliated with it. And really, it's just like drama fest, and it's not great. Also, Charlotte was trash. Don't watch Charlotte.
All right. For me,
And
there's
God Eater.
and for that, no, everyone. No, I'm joking. God Eater's pretty bad. I just like it because I'm a God Eater fan. But Alright, so for me, one thing I want to talk about, I know for a fact that no one knows what the fuck I'm going to talk about, but there's this series that turned into a TV series called Peeping Life. Now, if you don't know what Peeping Life is, Peeping Life was this 5-minute episode series that is just normal Japanese people in normal settings, and just shows how ridiculous your conversations can be when you're either bored, stressed out, or just having high hopes for something that's not going to happen. For example, like, there's one episode where 2 people are stuck in traffic, so they start playing, like, an I Spy game or whatever, and they just start arguing because, like, they're huge idiots. The reason why it was called Peeping Life, because it was about just normal Japanese people. There's one episode where a Japanese couple thought they were going to win the lottery, and it ended up not happening, because it's just normal things that we can relate to. Peeping Life TV really disappointed me because now they're starting to focus more on iconic TV characters. Like, there's one episode that's completely devoted to Astro Boy and whatever that professor's name is, and like just a bunch of superheroes and stuff, and it's like, I thought the whole point of the show was to highlight how stupid normal people can be, but instead you wanted to take it towards a completely different route and just talk about superheroes and stuff. It's like, no, we don't care about their lives, we just want them to save the earth, so fuck that. Animate the Training X and JK Meshi, they suck, don't watch it. And last but not least, Umuru-chan. Umuru-chan is Oremo without the incest, and I cannot understand why people like this, because I know people
It was a pretty
hate...
solid show.
You're losing so many points, Zach.
I'm losing many points.
So many.
Why?
Should I go down the list again?
Yeah, let's just give it a good old round
Alright.
off.
A little
That's
segment of this
skeptic.
podcast is like seeing how many times Zach fucked up.
Dedicated to tallying Zach's lack of brownie points.
No, it would detract too much from the current conversation. Let's keep looking forward.
So Umuru-chan, if you hate Oremo, you're gonna hate this show, but I guess it's not really saying much because I know people that hate Oremo, and then next thing I know, they have fucking Umuru-chan Twitter avatars. Now let me show you why Oremo is similar to Umuru-chan.
Yeah, but I think we should have a cap on, like, just how much shit each one of us can say.
Well, that's how we're gonna get respect from the anime community, because we're talking shit.
Well,
Complete shit.
I'm falling asleep here.
Whatever.
You're just going on about how much shit you hate in the anime community.
Whatever, it's my show. Why is Umuru-chan similar to Oremo? 1, they're 8th grade girls. 2, they're extremely popular. 3, they have orange hair. 4, they're secretly otakus. And 5,
I feel
they
like you actually made this list.
Isn't she blonde?
5, they both treat their older brothers like poop. And it's so reminiscent of Oremo that I cannot understand why people that hate Oremo like this show. So that's...
Pretty sure the girl
So
in
that
Oremo
last
is
one is a
blonde.
point as to why it's like Oimo.
Well, all those points
They're
are...
so similar that you can't understand it. Like, why people like
Yeah.
one another. That's one of the points why it's like that show.
No, I don't understand why people that hate Rainbow like Umaru-chan when
You
it's
made
so...
it sound like that was the final point of your list.
Well, I was gonna say that's
I'm
why I
fucking
don't...
with you. Go on.
This is what happens when Chase only sleeps 2 hours a day.
Done, Machi.
I
Just
watched
done.
that show. It wasn't as bad as everyone said it was, but it wasn't good.
It's just thoroughly, it's like 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.
What else was big that came out this year? Historical.
Well, Death Parade technically came out this year.
I'm pretty sure that Zanki no Terror was like last year or something, right?
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna talk shit about that. I'm gonna be wrong.
So,
Would,
best anime OPs. Because Death Parade had a really good anime OP.
Like I said on Anime Snobs podcast, if you ever want to learn Japanese, or at least think you'll learn Japanese, and you want to prove to your friends, just sing the Monster Musume theme.
Why is that?
Because OPs are normally a minute and a half. For the first minute of this, it's just 5 girls going, Monster, Monster, Monster. And yeah,
It's pretty
that's-
catchy, though.
Yeah, but it's like, the reason why I say that it's like a thing to prove that you know Japanese, because someone at my college actually did this. They were like, I know Japanese songs, and then one of them was like, no you don't. It's like, yeah, I know them word by word. It's like, okay, give me an example. And he just went, Monster, Monster, and I just immediately left. I just walked away.
Just turned to 180 and walked away.
Yeah, I just turned around and said, you're stupid, and I just walked away. Alright, so now to the most socially acceptable form of entertainment that our parents won't be disappointed at us for talking about. Movies.
I saw the Avengers movies that came out this year, or the Marvel ones, I guess, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a
That's
single
about it.
movie this entire year, and I'm fine with that.
It wasn't really a good year for movies.
No,
I just don't watch movies in general.
I like watch most of my movies vicariously through CinemaSins. So
Yeah, I actually just like hear about movies through YMS and Red Letter Media. That's how I consume it, because I just feel every time I watch a movie, I feel like it's always the same experience. It's always like, you know, where you, and because they obviously have to follow a format where it's like introduction, conflict, resolution. But
Right.
to me, I feel like it's just always the same recycled bullshit, and then after a while, I'm just like it's gotten to the point where whenever I go to the movies with my mom and dad, or whenever I watch a movie with them, my dad will predict the end of the movie halfway through, and like 9 times out of 10, he's right.
Yeah, well, that's just because, like, God, it's so true. I was thinking about that this morning. Honestly, like, after watching Steven Universe, how like they never, like, they have so little time to develop their fucking characters. Like it's just bizarre to me how, you know, like a lot of TV shows now have like crazy like you really get attached to like a lot of characters, but movies have to work a lot harder for that. And I feel like these like tropes that a lot of movies keep following aren't helping that at all.
Yeah.
was
Just
a
this
very
really
distant
far
yeah.
off. Yeah, just like this really.
Chase is
Yeah.
just leaving.
Okay,
Like, I mentioned Steven Universe again, and he's like, "All right, I'm out."
okay, so for me, for two movies I want to talk about at the same time, Mad Max and Jurassic World are movies that...
Ooh.
Oh, I
if you-
did see Jurassic World. That was a lie earlier.
Well, you can agree with me where it's like, the story is shit, it doesn't make sense, but so is Mad Max, but it's really one of those movies that you just want something to look at on a huge screen for an hour and a half.
It was just fan service.
Yeah, it was fan
I
service.
like
It's like, hey, remember the original Jurassic Park? We got the
It's like, we did it again, we'll
See,
make the
I
same
haven't
mistake twice.
I haven't seen the original Jurassic Park, and I still enjoyed Jurassic World.
That's all you gotta know. Just that
Yeah.
part.
And yeah, like Jurassic World and Mad Max, the stories don't make sense, but obviously what do you expect from that? But it is fun to look at, especially Mad Max. The directing was so good, and I just felt like I was a part of that entire chaos the whole time.
I just love when in a movie a character is written to be a misogynistic dickhead, and people say that the movie is misogynistic. It's like, do you not understand the disconnect?
Yeah, especially when this is taking place at like...
Yeah,
When you're trying to write a flawed, charming everyman, you have to make him do some things that are controversial.
Are you referring to Mad Max or Jurassic World?
Jurassic World. The main character of Jurassic World, there's like the part where he's just kind of like hitting on the woman, and she's just like, well, I never. And everyone's like, this movie's fucking sexist. It's like, go home.
Gone home, that one.
That's an old-ass game.
I mean, you can talk about that. Here's my opinion. If you can fit your entire gameplay on a GIF, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. I just hate how when people generally say, oh yeah, Gone Home, it's like Gone Home and what was the other one that where you walk around, it's fucking
Dear Esther.
There's a few.
Dear Esther. Matthew Matosis did a really great video breaking down why Journey is a game, and Dear Esther is arguably just a fucking pretentious sort of like masturbatory writing exercise that they charge full price for. And he basically made a really good point talking about why it's not really a game. But then I love how in face of that, everyone's just like, well, what is a game really? It's just like, it's a fucking thing where you can die.
Yeah, I didn't really like Journey, to be honest, either.
Oh my god, Zach, can you do anything else to make me fucking hate you more? You don't like Journey?
Not really.
It's not the best game ever. It's really
It
straightforward.
was just kind of boring. Like,
You
it was
don't-
nice to look
Do you
at,
like
but
nice music? Do you like pretty graphics and nice visuals? What did you play it on?
PS3.
The PS4 version's like slightly better because it's a little more clean and the frame rate's a little better, I think. But it's just, did you play online and did you ever experience the game with anyone else?
I don't think so.
That's part of the charm, is if you have it connected to the internet and then like it'll just randomly pair you up with another player and they won't tell you their name. You'll just see another person, and sometimes they'll help you find like little hidden pickups and Easter eggs and stuff. But other times they're just, what is it? In Matthew Matosis' video of it, he talked about how like there was one time when he was partnered up with somebody, and then they like must have disconnected or something, but he just stood around waiting for them to come back, and then they never came back, and he felt a sense of loneliness.
I think the
He
game
said-
intended to do that.
He said that if you if you could take someone from some sort of indigenous tribe, teach them how to hold a controller and play the game, and convince them that the TV in front of them wasn't about to consume the universe, then at the end of Journey, it was very likely that they'd be curled up in an emotional ball, because ultimately it's like the whole idea that he didn't really the main character was trying to get to the top of the mountain, something like Nirvana or Heaven or something, and then he died on the way there. And then he basically had this dream after he died, where it's he finally made it to the top, but in reality, he actually died. I think it had something to do with a Buddhist principles or fucking. I brought up something on Wikipedia. There were religious overtones on the whole idea of it, and it's just a really interesting. I mean, considering the guy who did the soundtrack won a fuck ton of awards, I think that should say something about not needing to like it as a game, but respecting it as a piece of art.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I just didn't really enjoy my time with it.
I think when your argument is, I just didn't like it, then it just immediately fucking puts me in rage mode. Because if you had said, I didn't like it, but I know it's a good game. That's what if I don't like a game that I know is otherwise incredibly detailed and has a lot of when I say I don't like Steven Universe, I can say no, but I know that there's a lot of other good things going for it. I just can't really put myself in that fan base. That's different from to say I I didn't like it, but I know that it's probably really good, is different from just it's not that good to me, because that implies that you think there's something bad about it unless you clarify otherwise. I don't know. That's generally what I expect when people say that. If I say I don't like The Witcher 3, which I don't that much, then I can at least say, oh yeah, well the graphics are really good and the music's kind of tight and the open world aspects are fun. But for me just to say, oh, Witcher 3 sucks, like I did earlier, then you would expect that there's nothing else I find redeeming about the game.
And going back to movies, there's two other movies I want to talk about. One I'm going to talk about first because it's a lot shorter. Goosebumps. If a lot of people don't like this movie because it's very silly, sorry,
that wasn't.
If you entered a Goosebumps movie, expecting something to be serious, you're a dumbass.
Well, I mean, some of the Goosebumps stuff was kind of freaky back in the day.
Yeah, but it was meant to be goofy and whatnot, and it just kind of. I enjoyed it because it was fun. It's a B movie. It's no doubt a B movie, and it's stupid. But that's the whole point of Goosebumps. And last but certainly not least, this is a Netflix exclusive movie that I highly enjoyed called Beasts of No Nation. It kind of like it revolves around child soldiers in Africa and just shows like how traumatizing experiences can be when they're drafted at like the age of 8. And it kind of is inspired by like the Coney event that happened in 2012, and it just shows how like these children soldiers, like, they feel like they're abducted, but they get connected to the people that abducted them, and they instantly get betrayed afterwards. And it just shows the development that these kids have to go through, to the point where they're traumatized the rest of their life, and they don't really know how to be an adult anymore because they already experienced
Stockholm syndrome, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
Well, you know.
and with educational cast over here, but it just kind of like, it does a great job reflecting on how children soldiers have to experience adulthood when they're not even 10 years old yet. And when after these 8-year-olds finish fighting the war, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like the stuff that they say at the end of the movie is so depressing that I really don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it. So if you have Netflix, please watch it. Beasts of No Nation. It's wonderful. Now for bad movies,
All of them.
Star Wars was pretty whatever.
Really? I hear across the board, most people,
Yeah.
even skeptical fanboys of the originals, really like it.
Yeah, it's just. So here's the
Did you
thing.
grow up with any of them?
No, I didn't. To be
no.
fair, yeah, I didn't grow up with any of the Star Wars, but I went in with low expectations, and it really didn't do anything for me.
My thing is, if you go in expecting something anywhere near as good as the original trilogy, you're going to be disappointed. Not because it's not as good, but because it's just a different kind of movie. You know, I mean, and maybe that's not even right, but it's a great movie in and of itself. It's Star Wars, but it's just so, it's not that it's so different, but there's a lot of things that, you know, a lot of people will just be like, oh, well, it's fucking better. They don't like.
What rednecks are watching Star Wars and being all?
That's a good, that's a good question.
Lightsaber sword piece of shit.
Well, like it. One complaint I heard before the movie came out is like someone was being really worried to me. They were like, "Shit, man, I heard the new Star Wars is kind of like a summer action movie, but with Star Wars slapped over it." And I was like, "Oh man, that would suck." And it wasn't that, but it did kind of have a feeling like that. It did.
See, I thought it felt like that.
I don't think it completely felt like that. It had a lot of Star Wars charm. Then again, maybe everyone's just blinded by nostalgia. You know, didn't the same thing kind of happen with Phantom Menace? So I don't know, but I thought it was pretty decent.
As far as bad movies for me, the only movie this year that I didn't enjoy was Crimson Peak. I'm a huge fan of horror movies, so when I saw Crimson Peak take place in a more like steampunk setting instead of a modern setting, I instantly got excited, and I was immediately let down to the point where it's pretty much just a story of how like really fucked up an incest couple can be, and it's really uninteresting, and the ending really doesn't make sense. So don't watch Crimson Peak if you're a fan of horror movies, because it's, as my sister says, don't watch this abortion of a movie.
Yeah.
And
Your sister sounds cool.
yeah, she is. Says if you're watching this, ChaseFace himself thinks you're cool. This is the guy that you thought was creepy, by the way.
Give me your number.
Let's take the elephant out of the room now. Today we're going to talk about controversial subjects, mostly in the gaming industry. Something that we're all really passionate about, that I'm pretty sure Chase is really passionate about because he's a really big fan of this franchise. And of course we're talking about the biggest gaming controversy of 2015, the fact that in Honey Pop, the gifts that you give to people are really exclusive to their race, and that is really racist. So let's talk about the biggest gaming controversy of 2015, the gifts that you give girls in Honey Pop. Let's go.
I don't think it's a
Fuck
big
you.
deal.
They took away any real amount of immersion and role-playing in Fallout 4 and dumbed it down to a simple 4-answer system, one of which was like, give me more information.
I'm just kidding. Let's talk about Konami. Go ahead.
I was
anything
serious
that
about
hasn't
that,
been said about Konami.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty like beat up topic at this point, but it never stops it from being like, you know, valid, because it's just the fact that they released an unfinished game and then fired the creator of it. Like, I'll probably never play another Metal Gear game for as long as I live, like a new one, that is.
And they got booed at the Game Awards. That was fun.
Yeah,
Ooh,
seriously,
that
fuck.
was
Like,
Really.
Jeff Keighley's a real piece of shit, but like that was the first thing he's done in a while that's actually made me like look at him and nod approvingly.
Basically, what
I
he
didn't
did
see
was, I think it was Best Action Game that Metal Gear Solid 5 did, right? Like, it won Best Action Game. And what happened was, when Metal Gear Solid was accepted for Best Action Game, Kojima didn't accept the award. The voice actor for Snake did. And after Snake, the voice actor of Snake was like, I just want to let you guys know Kojima is the one who deserves this award. And then he went to sit down, and then Jeff Keighley announced in front of like 200,000 people that are watching this. Konami legally, Konami's lawyers, or Kojima's lawyers, I should say, legally did not allow him to go to the show and accept that award. And he said that all like hesitantly, but then at the end he was more confident, saying, you know what, I don't care if I lose my career over this. Kojima's my boy. So I'm gonna call Konami out on their bullshit. And
I don't
then-
think Jeff Keighley was ever at any point worried about the, foundation of his career, because he's pretty much like grandfathered into the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but like there has to be a reason why when he was announcing that Kojima couldn't come, he talked like this. So I have to announce that
You mean like you could tell he was a little nervous?
Yeah, I really delved. I watched the clip over and over again, and I said, I think in the first half of this, he was saying to over and over again, because in his mind he was like, is this gonna fuck up my career? Like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get fired or anything? And then he got more
He
confident.
probably just had a bit of fight or flight because he was like, all right, this might piss people off.
Yeah, like
How
then.
can I word this the best way possible?
And that's how I thought about it in the second half. Like, he got more confident, because after he was hesitant and everything, he was like, at the second half, I thought he was thinking, you know what, Kojima's my boy. I have so much respect for him. I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna call Konami out on their bullshit in front of 200,000 people, and then surprise them with a whole tribute that is focused on Hideo Kojima. And my alarm clock is going off. What's going on? Shit.
Means that the podcast is over.
No, it's not.
Good night,
There's
everyone.
there's one more thing we got to talk about. Hold on.
It's our New
That'll be
Year's
easy to get
resolutions.
Let's go. Now is time for all you narcissists to talk about yourself. What are the best things that happened to you guys this year, when it comes to like either what you've put out this year or whatnot?
I hung out with a bunch of the normal boots guys at SGC, and they were cool. I broke up with my shitty ex-girlfriend and started dating a better girlfriend. I bought an Ona hole. Those are the main things. Those are the big highlights.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I'm a weeaboo, and welcome to Weeaboos Anonymous.
Zach, I told you not to say that
Hello,
on my show.
Zach.
Hi, Adam.
No, that's the thing.
No, I know.
Okay.
Who's next?
Should I go?
Adam, what did you
Alright.
do this year?
Hello, my name is Adamnator McVeigh, and I released a video where I was a little insensitive to religion. I don't know, Zach thinks I was more than I was. But, I mean, it was
that
alright.
totally like not that big of a deal video.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
church
it was
goes.
kind of a shitty video in and of itself. I don't know. I think it was kind of shit, but it was all right. You know, I went to SGC2 and hung out with a lot of great people, like Mr. Chaseface over here,
Fuck him.
and and you know, it was cool. It was very eye opening to see the actual human side. How, you know, people who get content out frequently actually have shit going on and are people. So I don't feel as bad for not doing it.
Even
So
though
that's
that doesn't really apply to any of you guys. Anyways, for me, my Rhythm Heaven collabs were pretty successful. I'm really happy about the feedback I got on those. Even though all the other feedback I got on my other videos that aren't YTP and Vs are generally terrible. But thanks to me having more motivation and doing things that are outside of YTP and V, I met all of these goobers, which I am thankful for.
Were you?
Exactly.
You're
That's
beautiful.
my little delusional mind
Don't
that we're
let
talking
Chase
about right
tell you
now.
different. You're beautiful. It's true.
I confirmed my thank you. I confirmed my trip to MagFest, and I'm looking forward to that.
I canceled my trip to MagFest, so...
And I'm also happy about that. That's also a good highlight for me. I don't have to see you and your monocle, your pseudo monocle. And I bought a physical porn game.
Nice.
Imported,
dude.
Nice.
imported from
I
Japan.
wish.
I won't say the title though because I don't want people to hate me more than
Is
they
it
already do.
Artificial Academy? Is
No,
it that one?
no. I'll admit that publicly. I bought Artificial Academy.
What is that?
I have no idea.
Bad.
So, everyone seems tired even though it's midnight and these fuckers usually stay up till like 5 a.m.
I just
Well,
have to.
I have work to do.
Yeah, so we'll end this specifically for Zach's convenience because this is his show. He
Thanks,
controls everything. So
Thanks, Zach.
Good job.
Yep.
So everyone, thank you for watching this if you did. And if you made it this far, what's wrong with you?
Thanks everyone for watching the Zach podcast.
The Zachcast, everyone. Is there any last things you guys want to say before this podcast ends?
Have a nice new year.
Adam likes dogs.
I do like dogs. Dogs are nice, man. I want
How
to
do you
get a
like
dog. Not next year. Not for many years, but I do want a dog.
Adam's New Year resolution is to get a dog someday.
Yes.
And my last thing that I want to say is try Honey Pop. It's pretty good.
Donate to my Patreon!
Only you can